Hello, everyone. We're back. Welcome back to Who Let Me Do This, Season 3. Yeah, yeah. I know I've taken quite a break from my channel. I've been posting a lot more on my TikTok, if you haven't noticed, and my Reels and Instagram. So if you're not following me there and you want to, go check me out over there, SamRegX3, same as it is everywhere. And yeah, I've just been taking a break from life and, well, not really life, but I've just been taking a break from this. I don't know. I love long form content as someone that's been doing it for over 10 years now. Love it to death, but it does get draining. And I've been noticing that my mental health the last few months has been ugh, like it's not something I'm excited to do anymore. It's been something that I've been dreading to do. So the only exciting thing that I've really been loving is the podcast and random fun videos here and there, but the editing part, oh my god, I don't know. It's always this it's always that. It's always been that from the beginning for me with all these little the tediousy, is that a word? Of it, but at the end of the day, it is worth it and I love doing it. So I go through these spurts. It's been a thing for me for the last few years now. Ever since I started YouTube, actually, I go through times where I just need a break because it just gets to be a lot. And I think the best example of that is I can shout out Lance Stewart, Lance 210. He just tried to come back and do daily vlogging, which I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited because he is one of the only male vloggers, if not the only male vlogger that I love to watch. I love to watch his from years and years now with him and his family. Love it. But I understand what he was saying in his video that mentally it's just a lot knowing okay, I have to find time to edit and I got to squeeze this in, I got to get this up and oh my god, it just becomes a whole thing. And this whole other point of with all that pressure and just oh my god, the tediousy of it is that's the only way I can describe it. It's oh my gosh, no, okay, I gotta film this, all right, it's filmed, I gotta edit it, I gotta get it up, and you have a certain amount of time to do that. Although someone like me, yes, as a stay-at-home mom, I do have some time on my hands. It's not much, but it is some. And sometimes honestly I don't want to be editing a video, I don't want to be filming, I don't want to do any of that because I'd rather just lay on my bed and watch a documentary or read my book, or I would just rather do something else. And especially the last few months with summer being here, I've been enjoying the pool. I went to the beach by myself. Oh my God, it's so nice. And next week that I'm filming this, you guys will see this beginning of August, but we're going to Maine with Brian and bringing him. And I'm so excited. So excited. I'm nervous, but I know it'll be okay. So if you don't hear from me after this, I lost it. Today, I kind of just wanted to give you basically an update and just also a year in review, I guess, of being a mom, which is crazy. I have a 1 year old. What? He's almost 13 months now, which is still so insane to me. I could not be more blessed, could not be more happy. I have to say, overall, this year has been a ride. Of course. It has been the journey. You guys have been with me through all the nitty-gritties and all my little "Oh my god, what about this?" And sometimes this crying is too much and this and that. All the new mom things. All of you guys have been with me through if you've been listening or watching. And it has been something. It really has. I wouldn't have traded it for the world. And overall, I have to say it has been amazing. It's been the best. I love being with him. I love watching him grow and learn, and now he's about to walk. I can't. He's so fast and crawls everywhere. He's saying dad dad and kind of mama. Now he can start talking a little bit and he loves playing with his ball pit and trucks and all his other he has these little blocks that go in this VTech train thing that my husband bought him. Oh my god, he's obsessed. He loves he's just so smart. I don't even know. Maybe it's just cuz it's my kid, but I know he's just so incredibly smart and I'm so excited to see what he does with that as he gets older and what he becomes interested in and his mannerisms and all this kind of stuff. So I say stuff a lot. But that has really just been the most amazing thing this year, honestly. And more importantly, besides raising him so far, going through this year of wow, I really could just say wow, because on the one hand, the postpartum and the first few months, I was I'm going to literally in my head, I'm this is going to be terrible. This is terrible. when are we going to see a light at the end of the tunnel, especially if you were listening to the podcast around December when my son was going through what I thought was a sleep regression. Turns out it's because of his acid reflux at the reflux, whatever, at the time. And he wasn't getting enough meds. And we thought it was just a sleep regression. It was a whole thing. The whole month of December, like the happiest month of the year, Christmas. The only break I think we got from that was Christmas Eve. He went right to sleep and he slept the whole night. That was a Christmas gift. That was the ultimate gift at that time. I was like, oh my God, thank you. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, God. Like, thank you to all my higher powers out there. Oh my God. Because literally he was waking up like an hour, 2 hours after he went to sleep, or he just had the hardest time going to sleep. Come to find out, it was reflux, and that's what I was thinking it was, anyways. So then we upped his dose of his medicine that he gets, and we were smooth sailing from there. And I was just like, wow, we could have saved ourselves. But it's a learning experience. It really is. I feel like people give new parents a hard time because it's like as soon as you're a parent, you're expected to know everything. You're expected to know what's going on with your kid at all times, which, yes, you should. But there's some things that you're like, you're brand new. You don't know, again, take my example. I didn't know if it was a sleep regression or if it was his acid reflux. Turns out it was the acid reflux, maybe a sleep regression. But I know for a fact that my boy loves to sleep just like his dad and just like his mom. So he is like knocked the fuck out all the time. But like now, knock on wood. Okay. I just feel like a lot of people are like have this standard of, especially like first time parents and first time moms and dads, of like, okay, well, or like they think you don't know anything at all. When you do know some things, but you don't know everything. And it's a whole I don't even know. Especially with like family, when they like try to chime in when like you're trying to deal with your kid and you're trying to like do something and they're upset, you're trying to, you know, soothe them, feed them, whatever it is, and then someone wants to butt in because they think that you don't know what you're doing. That aggravates me so much. That aggravates me so much. Let's just leave parents to parent their kids, okay? That ones that actually parent their kids and not just shove a screen in their face 24/7. And when I say 24/7, again, we can go back to that episode of like, this is your kids in. This is why. If you are a parent that your kid is on a screen 24/7, good luck to you because you are in for it to try to get them off it. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah. Anyways, I don't know where I was going with that. I feel like more than anything, and obviously it's been about Brian. He's here, he's my son, he's growing and learning, and he's a toddler now, which is crazy. The toddler era, man, we are in it. We are in it. He definitely lets me know when he's mad, when he doesn't want something anymore, when he doesn't want me in his face, when he wants to be left alone. And that's all great. That's all great. But comes with that is the parenting part, which I think it's a little funny. Well, it's not funny. But for me personally, it's funny because as a teacher, a former teacher, being with little kids, being with kids with disabilities and stuff, it's like I already know like the teacher way. If you are a teacher, you know what I'm talking about, of the way you speak to the kids and you discipline. It's not really discipline, but the way that you interact with them, the way that you show them and teach them, that whole way is a lot different, I feel like, than someone just becoming a parent. Like if you don't have that already, I feel like it makes it a lot more difficult to parent in a way. But then again, maybe not, because I still have a little like contradicting thinking in my head, like, oh my God, am I doing the right thing? Am I saying the right thing? Is this going to be right? Blah, blah, blah. So I will say right now, Brian's thing has been hitting, and our doctor has advised us to start the parenting process, meaning set the boundaries basically in the teacher way. And which that's how I translated everything she was saying, was basically like, okay, I already know how to do all that. The thing is executing it. And as a mom now, instead of just being a teacher, it is totally different, because whereas before it was like, okay, I'm disciplining this kid, like I'm telling them not to do this, or you're going to take a break, or whatever it is, and like not really thinking much about it. And then going back after, I'm like, listen, let's have a talk. With my own son, it's a little difficult because, yes, he's only 1 years old, but I also agree with setting those boundaries early on, because later on, if you're trying to set them, it's again a lot more difficult. It's so much more difficult as kids get older if you're trying to teach them something or trying to get them off something. because they've just grown adapted to whatever they're in right now. That's just common knowledge, I feel like, but that's something that I've always, that's always been taught to us, and it is really is true. Kids tend to pick up on things and then they stick with it, and it's very hard to quit. Just like if you're trying to get them off a passy, or you're trying to potty train, or whatever it is, like it's hard. It's hard. But if you start these things early, well, some things, if you start some things early, I feel like it's just a lot easier in the process. Like, I know that there's a lot of you guys out there and a lot of parents that choose to co-sleep with their children, and their children don't have their own room or have their own bed or anything like that. That's on you. That's what you want to do. That's how you parent. That's great for you. I have no room to say here or there, like you should or should not be doing that. Me personally, as a mother, I never grew up that way with my mom. There were times like if I was sick or if there was a storm or something, go run in mommy's bed. Mommy, mommy, I need you. But other than that, Brian has his own room. He has his own bed. He has slept in his own bed since he was, honestly, probably earlier than he should have been, but he's been sleeping in his bed since he was maybe like 8 weeks old, I want to say. No, sooner than that, way sooner than that. And the only explanation I have for that is survival. Okay. Postpartum for me, as we know, if you want to go listen to that episode, my postpartum hell, it was hell. And some things that I was told, like, don't put them in a crib until they're like this age, and don't do this, and honestly, or like, don't have a blanket in their bed with them, don't do all this crap, which, again, yes, safety regulations, you don't have anything in the crib with the baby, don't do that. But I'm also, again, a mother that believes that you do what's right for your kid in those moments, in those times. Like, there were a few times that, yes, I did co-sleep with my son because he was so miserable from his reflux, and we could not figure out what was going on with him, and we were just going through a couple different formulas, and it wasn't satisfying, it wasn't helping him at all. So he was just up like many, many, many times during the night, and the only things that would relieve him is if he was sleeping with us or we were in the car. Sometimes in postpartum, not even that, but just to survive, and what works for your kid is what's going to be for your kid. So for any new moms out there, any parents, I'm a firm believer in, you do what's right for your kid, because that's your kid. Like, that's your baby. You are raising them, and as a mom, like, and I didn't really believe that at first, because I feel like the first few days, I go back on this all the time, back to when I had Brian, like, I wanted to do skin to skin. I wanted my husband to do it, but we didn't, because I was just so in shock and like I just was like, no, and I was exhausted and I needed to sleep, and major surgery with a C-section and all that. That's my defense. I don't really think I should have a defense. I don't think any woman should have a defense over like their postpartum experience of like, oh, well, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you bond with them? Do this? Why didn't you do this? Blah 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 blah. And like, especially with people that make them feel bad, especially if they feel bad about their postpartum, if they feel bad about their delivery and nothing went as planned, and everything kind of went downhill, and they just are already with the hormones, and the everything is just, I can say that I do feel a little still guilty, even now, even over a year later, that I didn't bond with him as much as I wanted to when I was in the hospital, because I literally was just like, okay, get him up, feed him, okay, change him, put him back in the bassinet. Like, I didn't really hold him that much at all in the hospital. If anything, my husband held him a little more than me, and then like my mom, and then my mother-in-law, my aunt-in-law. But other than that, like, I was just so like Twilight Zone over here. Like, I don't know what the hell, like, is this my life? Is this real life? What's going on? Don't feel guilty. Just don't. I've had to get over that this year quite a bit, because it is said and done. It is what it is. And I have bonded so much with him, and he slept on me so much the first few months of his life. If you guys saw the video, already here on my channel, when he was born, like, he was sleeping on me all the time. That was also another stage which was so hard for me. I won't lie. I loved it. I loved holding him while he was sleeping, but it was just taking life out of me every day, and I was like, okay, this is going to pass someday. Hopefully this will pass, because every time we would put him down to sleep, he would wake up. And it kind of got to that point of like, okay, well, I'm just going to have to co-sleep with him. Literally, like, I would just have to have him. It's not co-sleeping, is it? I don't know what you call it. I would have to have him sleeping on me and holding him 24/7, basically, just so, like, to get some peace. And so he would sleep, and so we could just rest, even if it meant I literally was holding him all day, all night for like a good few weeks. Thing that I will say too is postpartum. I've been asked to, even like literally, I'm not even kidding. And I know people say, I've been asked on the street. No, I literally got asked by some grandparents. I walk near my mom's house now. I don't go to the park I used to anymore. Too many creepers. I just can't stand it. Especially with a baby. I'm just, no. I ran into a couple that saw me walking with Brian like a few weeks ago, and they kind of were like, my son and my daughter-in-law just had a baby, and they're really stressed out, and it's horrible, and everything is this and that, and like basically kind of asked me for advice. And the only thing I could really say was be patient and just go with it. And that's the same thing I'm going to say to all the new moms out there and new parents. Be patient, go with it. You can try to change it. It's not going to happen. Trust me. I had moments where I was like, I need some time to myself. I have no time to myself. Like, there were times that I did have time to myself, but it just didn't feel like genuine time, if that makes sense, with everything going on. So, I don't know. I was just having like I was not good. I was not good, you guys, with my postpartum, and as I've said before. So, I'm happy that I mentally recognized that before I literally went into like a full on breakdown, because I was like, this isn't me. This isn't right. We need to fix it. But there were times that I just was like, okay, I'm going to go do my nails. Like, I literally just wanted to put new nails on because my nails from the hospital like were all broken. My eyebrows are grown out. I just wanted to do a little self-care. And I start doing my nails, and Brian wakes up, and I was just like, "Oh my god, no." It was the worst, and my husband's like, "I'm going to go get him. It's fine." Like, we literally just put him down. He maybe slept like a half hour, 45 minutes, and then he was up again. That's usually how it was his first like couple months of life, even with fixing his reflux problem. So those times I was like trying to change it and just like, okay, well, I guess not necessarily trying to change it, but trying to find like something for myself. It just seemed like it was like, nope. He was literally like, no, ma, I'm up now. You're going to deal with me. You're not going to do your nails. You're going to be with me all the time. So literally go with it. Just go with your baby schedule, go with what they're doing. And I never said this, and I'm going to say it now. If you think there's something wrong with your baby, you are not wrong. Advocate for them. 1,000%. Okay? Because with all the we went through with Brian's reflux, I can't stress that enough. Advocate for your child. Don't stop. There was a few weeks we literally were at the doctor's office probably like 3, 4 times a week, or like every week. Actually, that's a little dramatic. That's a little dramatic. I think we were there like once every like 2 weeks, or once every week for like a good month. And they were just like, what's going on? And first it was this, and then it was this, and then I tried to change his formula, and then I decided I wanted to stop pumping because my mental was just driving me crazy. And then we did this, and then with that, and it was just the light was at the end of the tunnel. And yes, it is all worth it. Now I can say, as a mother of a toddler, he is everything that I could ever dream of. And I feel myself has changed. As I've talked about in the previous episodes in last season, I can't stress it enough of how much I've changed. Like, I don't know who I was before having him. And I will stress this again, that I was such a selfish person before I had him. Like, I was just such a lazy sack of, and that's being harsh, but that's true, because I was still so, like, I guess unknowingly immature in a lot of ways when it came to like washing dishes, making dinner, like ordering food all the time, like shopping 24/7. Like, it was just a very selfish time. And I know that was because like I didn't have a child yet. I could still do what I want. But a lot of things, like even health wise, like eating all the time, not wanting to make the effort, being really lazy. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a little hard on myself, because I just look back and I'm like, that was really fucked up. Why was I like that for so long? Why didn't someone be like, hello, like, are you okay? Like, you can't be doing this. But it was all on my own accord. So I can say now I feel a lot differently about a lot of things. And one of those things now being friends. And yes, we're going back into it, because within the last few months, have been trying to work on friendships that I have and put myself out there a little more, because I used to be very much everyone's the problem. No one likes me. I still feel like the floater friend. If you don't know what that means, go look that up on TikTok. It has been quite a ride. And the only reason I feel more comfortable putting myself out there again is because partially I have to thank Mel Robbins and Leo Skeppy for that, because I listen to Leo's podcast all the time and I read Mel Robbins' book and I feel like I can conquer the world. No, but I do need the kick in the ass and I do thank Leo for that 1000%. I've just realized stuff like how meaningless my life was before I had Brian, and I love doing things with him and my husband and going out to dinner, and as sometimes as stressful as it gets, I'm not going to lie, it's not all rainbows and butterflies. There's been a few times we've gone out to dinner or breakfast and I'm like, we're taking it to go. I can't do this. and and then my husband's like, okay. and then we leave and then we eat at home, because sometimes it just is a lot with a toddler, and as they get older, especially when you're trying to not raise them to be like a screen kid, 24/7 on the screen. Irregardless, I have realized how lonely my life has been. Like, I have friends, obviously, but I've been so scared to make connections and to interact and to text and all that because of myself, but also of things that I've gone through, and just feeling like, oh, well, they don't talk to me, so why should I talk to them? But they would never know that I would want the connection if I didn't reach out. So I think the whole thing on TikTok of like the friend thing and vibes and this and that, it's all okay. I'm going to say it. Every single one of it is. There can be some truth to a lot of it, and I do believe there is. However, I think that there's a lot of in it, because if you think about it, a lot of the things that people say on there is bleh, contradicting as okay. It's so contradicting. It is just like weaving in a basket. Like they just weave each other, and it's just like, well, where does it start and where does it end, and what do I do, and what about this and what about that? And I have a friend that's been giving me weird energy, or they've been doing this. Shut up, quiet. All I'm gonna say. And this has taken me 33 years, by the way. Well, no, I'm not 33 yet. I'm going to be. Oh my God, I'm rushing it. oh my God, I'm rushing it. As long as you listen to your intuition, you are fine. You are fine. Okay. I have had friends that have done some to me, and obviously they're not here anymore. But if I ever feel like a weird vibe with somebody, it is a little toxic of me to distance myself, but I'm trying not to do that anymore. I'm trying to feel out that vibe and to feel out what's going on there, of why that's weird. And the whole notion of like, are you trying to be me? You don't like me? You trying to copy everything I do? Who knows? Who knows? Honestly. But I think that's just like the best way to deal with it now personally, because I've had a lot of people give me weird, well, not a lot. Let's not be dramatic. You don't leave the house that much, Samantha. But I've had some people like just been giving me weird vibes here and there, but I'm kind of feeling it out instead of just like, okay, let's back away from that, because it might not be weird vibes. It might just be something else, but you never know. That's contradicting. Y'all gonna come for me. I think that's also been helping me quite a bit too with the whole let them theory when that comes into play. Because literally, I would spend hours and spiral and this and that and cry. Oh, the nights I cry, wondering I'm not good enough, wondering why I'm not anyone's number one best friend and all this crap. It doesn't matter. and I think that a lot of the times I was searching for all that validation within my friends, or people that were my friends at the time, was because I was searching for some kind of validation within myself. I've been insecure with myself for so long that within the last few years, I'm finally like, okay, let's get out of this. But maybe that comes with age. Maybe I'm finally developing. I've always felt like a late bloomer, so maybe that's why. But pot is on the stove. Let it boil, I guess. I don't know. I just feel a lot more like secure with myself and who I am as a person, that I feel like I don't have to like seek out or like stress or like overthink with a whole bunch of other people, because that to me that doesn't matter anymore. It's all about my little family, and anyone else that wants to hang out, have a drink, go out, whatever, I'm down. I am down. 1000% for that. 1000%. I'm gonna make a shirt that says that. Someone better buy it. Felt so at peace. And I hate talking about it because putting it out there invites all the negativity. But honestly, if people are gonna throw negative my way or anybody's way. If someone is even doing that to you, there's something wrong with them, baby. Don't be throwing me no shade because I didn't do nothing to you. You a little insecure. Go work on yourself. Go therapy. Go touch grass. That's the new thing. Go touch the grass. Go write in a journal. Go read a book. Go do something. Leave me alone. Okay. I didn't do nothing to you. That kind of stands true with toddler era now because this morning I'll say Brian's been up since 5:30. So he was crabby. We had to go to Target, get a few things before our trip with my mom, and he's like, it's getting near the end, and he's like crabbing, and he's getting really mad, and he's just like he's just talking a lot, and I can tell he's getting to his edge of glory, and I was like, don't get mad at me, it's not your fault that you woke up at 5:30. I was just like, don't be mad at me, I didn't do anything. You woke up at 5:30. I know you're tired. We're going to be done. Like I was just kind of like singing like that to him and he was just like staring at me like, "What are you doing, mom?" Do none of you. Don't get mad at me. That holds true. It has been giving me a lot of joy too, just to go out with my friends and go out and see people and just to have like a lot of self-care with myself. I noticed that, as I've said so much, that I like my time to myself. I like to be alone sometimes, but I also like to be around people. It's a balancing act thing. I love to be in my bed, as I've said before. But I really, you know what? I really love showers. Oh, I love showers. I love washing my hair. I love doing my self care, putting lotion on, shaving. I love the whole nine yards. That's like one of my favorite things is to take a shower. And I think it took like postpartum for me to really like appreciate that because that was the one thing every day. I was, well, not at first. It took a little time, but then I was starting to take my showers every day again. And I was like, oh my God, yes, this is incredible. This is amazing. Oh my God. I think at one point I just started doing it because even though Brian was still really little and he was waking up from his naps like after a half hour or something, I would just be like, nope, I'm showering. I'm going to go shower. You get the baby. I'm going to shower. Or it'd be the opposite. My husband would be playing video games and I would take care of Brian. So it like, balance, balance. That's the other thing I definitely want to mention, support system. And I know a lot of women don't have that, unfortunately. If you have a very loving, supporting partner, family that is willing to be there and help you so you can shower, so you can have time for yourself, so you can get a break from the baby, I'm throwing that out there. I've said from the beginning, I'm very grateful for my village of my mom, my husband, my in laws. They have been amazing to me and to Brian, and they have just helped us out so, so much, especially during the reflux era where my mom was coming over literally to do a night. She did a few night shifts with Brian because it was so bad at one point, and we had we got no sleep at all, which was very kind of her to do. So we could get some sleep. But literally, your village, who you're around, helps so much too. Could not ask for a better partner in crime. Right, okay. I really couldn't. He has been amazing, and my husband has gone above and beyond. And it makes me think a lot of times of like, do I want to go there? I don't go there. It makes me think a lot of times of guys that I used to date and be with, like my ex and whatever, that if I had gone through this with them, how that would have been. I've thought about that a few times and I'm like, probably not well. Probably not good at all. I probably would have lost my mind. I'm so grateful for him and for this year, and it's been a blessing. And again, to say that I'm a stay at home mom, that has been like the ultimate everything. Like, that has been everything to me, and I'm so happy to do it. I'm still feeling the same way I was before, as I mentioned, that I don't know if I ever want to go back to my job. I really don't, because it's a lot, and I've heard some things, and that's all I'm going to say about that, because I'm not going to be outing no whistleblowers in my job. At my old job. I think that era is done for me, at least for now. I don't want to say that I'll go back because then I'll go back. I don't know. I don't know what the future holds for me, honestly. Right now, I'm just focused on being a mom and keeping this house decent and, all the good things coming. So, very happy. Good vibes. Prayers all the way. I pray a lot. I pray every night with Brian. So, just leaving it in God's hands, which I never thought I'd say. And I know there's like so many creators that reminds me of like Jade Amber, how she all of a sudden like found God and was going to church, and everyone was like, "What the? You love Playboy and the pink, and you got rid of all that to do this?" But honestly, she seems happy as hell, and she's pregnant, and she's married, and she's living her best life. So God is holding it down. I think I'm gonna end this episode. that's a little update and everything that I wanted to say for a while now, especially the last few months on this break. Wow, man, I still can't get over it. I still can't. And it was funny for Brian's birthday. I was saying to my husband, I was like, we did it. We did it. We survived. The first year is the hardest, they say. So we did it. And if any of you are going to be like, when are you having another one? I'm just going to stare at you, okay? I don't know what the future holds, but it ain't now. And it ain't next year. And it ain't the year after that. I need a break. I'm good with one right now. So, yay. But I don't even remember my sign off. What is it? Stay safe. Don't be fucking stupid. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And I hope you're all having an amazing summer with your families, by yourself, living your best life. And here is to the rest of the summer and fall. Oh my God, I'm so excited to have fall with a 1-year-old. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I feel like I can do more things now this year because obviously Brian was was like 3-4 months last year. So, oh my God, I'm so excited. Okay. I will see you guys in the next episode.